As you can see, I'm up in the morning, strolling my kid, you know, and taking my daughter to school as usual. This is usual, you know. This is the everyday thing that I'm telling you about, you know. Um, today I was gonna speak about. Today I was gonna speak about befriending, befriending an enemy, and I was gonna talk about stalkers. Okay. Me, I've never liked a person that walks behind me, up on me, or standing near me and staring at me, staring me down. The first thing I'm gonna think is you up to no good. I keep seeing this guy, and he's a black guy. He look like he's a little disabled or something. I don't know if he is or not, but he stay in my complex. I always see him everywhere I go. I see him around the school. I don't know if he's a drug trafficker or not. I don't think he work a job. I think he's like a little bit handicapped. Just by the way he look and just by the way he act. I was going by the way he look. I went by the way he act. I used to work at a group home for adults. And I would know the signs of somebody being handicapped, but it looked like he's in a gang. It looks like he's affiliated in some type of drug trafficking. He always wearing jogging pants. I'm not really trying to go by the image. I'm not trying to go by the image, but he looks like somebody that looks like he's up to no good. I'm not trying to give black men a bad name or trying to say all black men are bad because I'm having problems with my black man, which is my husband. I'm not trying to say that. What I'm trying to say is he pops up everywhere I go. And to me, that's a red flag because he never say hi. He never says hi. He never says anything. He just pops up to where I'm at. And I watch out for stuff like that because I have kids. I got kids that run loose sometimes. And one time my daughter ran outside. She was running for her bus. And I saw him. And the first thing that came to my mind is, oh, you know, is he up to some good, you know? So I had to call school, make sure she's there. You know, I started to get that paranoia, or should I say that concern started to kick in. So I called school and they told me, okay, she's there. I said, good. So you got to understand the history of what happened to me. What happened was my children being human trafficked in Arizona by DCS. Anytime somebody changes your kids' birth certificates, okay, and sneak your kids out of the medical facility, whether it's a hospital or not, and they don't have no broken bones, they never had a comatose situation, and those people just sneak them out like that. These were Mexicans and white people that did that in 2016. I held on to that. And first of all, at that meeting, when I first started that meeting with DCS, I was friendly. I was very friendly. I was very compassionate. And those are the people they hurt the most. They hurt the people that are friendly and compassionate. They don't hurt the ones that's assholes. They don't hurt them. Like I said, I'm a very friendly person and compassionate. But when I get to the point of disliking a person, I want your ass away from me. I'm just going to be honest. I want you away from me. I don't want you to say nothing to me. I don't want you to even look at me sometimes. You know, but it is what it is, you know. And I even got a neighbor that I don't like. I don't like her because the type of woman she is. First of all, 1 minute she's this way, 1 minute she's that way. I think she's a white lady. I think she's bipolar. She gives me a compliment, says, oh, your dress, the gold dress that I had on with the red, she gives me a compliment saying, well, you look very nice. And I'm looking at her like, where that come from? You know, you must not forget that we don't like each other. You know what I'm saying? You must not. And see, some people go day by day holding on to, I'm that type of person. I go day to day holding on to some things. I don't release it. I don't release it because I don't have a reason to release it. Meaning, I don't have a reason to forgive you or to release that pain and say, God, deal with it. I'm not that type of person. I hold on to it. I remember you by that. That is what I remember you by. I don't forgive Rosetta Connor for taking for sneaking them out of the hospital like that, my children, in 2016. I don't forgive Alvarado Garza. I don't forgive Domingo de Garcia because he helped them. And then he go home to his wife, holding her, kissing her, loving on her like he deserved that type of love. No, honey, you help somebody, kids get taken. David Poland, I would never like David Poland. Because those are the wounds that hurt me. When you take my family from me, my kids, my flesh and blood away from me, you took a part of me. You took a part of me. You took what I love away from me that's biologically mine. My blood, my DNA, my babies. And you want me to forgive you? Shit, hell no, I ain't forgiving you. No, I will never forgive you. That's just the way I am. I would never, no, I won't forgive you. And every day I will hold on to that. I live like it happened today. I don't live like it, yes, it probably happened yesterday, which is the past. Yesterday is the past. But I live like it happened today because that is the pain that I held on to. Those are the missing days that I missed, the timing that I missed with my children, that I don't even know where they at, what they're doing. I don't even know Tiana Brown like that. That's my husband's auntie, but I don't know her like that. I don't know Vanna like that. Vanna Brown, I don't even know her like that. Tiana is his cousin, should I say, and Vanna is the aunt. But I don't know those people like that. I didn't even know my other neighbors, Rebecca Prugen. I don't even know that Mexican. I didn't even know Curl Lopez. Why would you leave that burden on somebody like that didn't even know you? Why would you go violating somebody that didn't even know you? You stalked the person. You violated them. She went address to address. Curl Lopez went address to address. And I had no proof of that. The only thing I had proof of was me sleeping at the airport with my children on the south side. Girl, you hurt me. I'm wounded. God, help me with this. I was so wounded by the people that I didn't want to stay. You wounded me. And then the officer sublet, he betrayed me. You were supposed to go over there and question what the hell happened. Why do you got a badge? Why do you got a badge? Tell me that. Why do you got a badge? You didn't do your job correctly. You were not a friend. And I need to scream that out because I've been at rage of madness. I have not touched anybody. I have not did anything to anybody. The only thing I did is push in a fucking door. That door has no feelings like me. That door didn't need to be accepted like me. I'm a human being, and you closed the door on my face and called me a bitch, Robert Roberts. I got feelings. I was your tenant. I was your tenant. I was not a criminal. And I'm screaming because I was so mad. I was just so damn mad and hurt and betrayed because I was a tenant. And you treated me like a criminal. Just like these fuckers over here at this complex. Ruben don't even like me. He doesn't like me. The first thing I asked him is fix something. You know what he told me? You know what he asked me? Not told me. You know what he asked me, y'all? I'm going to calm down for a minute. You know what the maintenance man, Ruben, at Catalina Ridge asked me when I asked him to fix something, and we're paying rent, we paying the utilities, we paying for them to do their job. He asked me, when are you leaving? And that goes down to me of why my stuff was probably being vandalized. because he wanted me to leave. That's something the KKK used to do to black people. They used to stalk black people. They used to stalk black people and run them out of their business. They used to burn down the buildings, houses of black people to run them away because they didn't want the black people to live life. That's no different than what was happening with my company, UAOE. It's compared to the civil rights. It was no different. It was a similar situation. Then when I got in Facebook, I had a problem. I had a problem with their staffs. It's like everywhere I went, I was having a problem with some prejudiced white people or some racist white people with their comments of saying this intellectual property. How do you know my work is intellectual if you're not there when I do it? How do you know? How do you know my stuff is intellectual property? How do you know it's fried? You didn't see me do that project. How do you know? If it's in my pictures and it got my face on it, and I'm doing it step by step, of course that white girl gonna go behind me an altar because she didn't want me to have the life that I needed to have. It was always some white girl or some Mexican or Latinas going behind me copying my work. Even when I showed Northwest Register Agent my work, I had a stalker. During that time, I had a stalker. I had a stalker going into my work then, and she was like, your stuff is on web.com. I said, yes. Web.com, they was smiling because they like, this is something we never seen before. You got fabric, flower vases. This is back in 2022 when I first came out with it. I was at the El Rancho Del Mar on the south side, if I could remember. And I started having problems with Curl Lopez, that Latina that I don't even like, my ex-landlord, the one that never apologized, the one that have a pride issue. Drop our pride. If you need help with something, lady, you need to say that. You don't need to follow behind no black woman and torment a black woman for not helping you, or revenge on a black woman because you got fired at River Oaks and Brookwood. She got fired at Brookwood Apartments and River Oaks. Them are two apartments, honey, you got fired at. Get over it. Move on with your life. I got fired from Jewel Osco. Do you want to know why? In Chicago? Because I was late. I got over it. And when I see them ex-bosses, I always say hi to them because it was not personal. I'm not personal like Curl Lopez. That Aquarius sign ain't even personal. I would say hi to George Rahul anytime. I would say hi to Tequila. That was one of the staffs at Jules. I would say hi to her anytime. When I see them, I be like, hi, these are black and white people I'm talking about that I worked with in Chicago, Illinois in 2000, all the way up to 2004. I stayed there for a good 3 years. To know those people, I will always say hi because it's not personal. I will always see, if I see them in Chicago, Illinois up to date, I will say hi. Oh, hi, Tequila. Hi, George Rahul. How you doing? You know, because it's not personal. I didn't held on to that because I knew the reason why I got fired. I got fired for being late. And DCS was all in my work history in Chicago. Arizona DCS was all in my work history. They was not supposed to be in my work history. They went into my Chicago, Illinois lifestyle and used that for my kids to say that I was late getting my kids to the hospital. How could you be late to getting your kids to the hospital when you don't even know what's going to happen to your children? You don't expect your kids to be sick. You don't expect your kids to have meningitis. That was not my fault, ma'am. My kid was not born with meningitis. My kids was not born with no mental issues. My kids was not born physically retarded, like she said, retarded. Megan Robson, retarded. Your kids is retardation. She was very prejudiced and white, and she need to work on her weight. I kept looking at her weight. I said, girl, you big. You are overloaded with weight. You got a lot of weight going on with you, girl. You shouldn't be talking about nobody. That's if you could keep up with my kids. because she can't even run fast. If those kids break loose, can she catch them? Nah, because she's too big her damn self. But I'm talking about stalkers, because she's another stalker. When people start going through, invading your privacy, your past lifestyle, that's a stalker. She is not no DCS worker professionally. Yes, I got portrayed by a sublet, yes. And when I first met him, I thought of, see, this is the thing about me. I'm very positive. I think of people. I started out positive with him. You saw me with groceries. You saw me getting across the street. Yeah, you call it jaywalking. But I call it getting to where I got to go. I don't have time for your law. I'm trying to get my kids some food. I'm hot as hell in this robe. I got to go. It was hot that day. My cereal and stuff falling off my stroller. I had to try to catch my cereal boxes off the ground so don't no ants get in it. You know, I'm trying to get my food. I don't have time for his law. You know, I gotta rush home, meet my family members and stuff, because they coming over. I gotta cook. You know what I'm saying? I don't got time for your law, dude. Thank you for helping me across the street. Now you could go. Now you could go. I'm not desperate for no husband or no man no more. I'm not like that no more. I'm not desperate for nobody to hold me. I'm not Stephanie Garcia. I'm not desperate. All because you got a badge doesn't mean you're a great cop. And then he was so used to his job, paper arresting, that he put my court date on New Year's. Now, you know that's a ha. He wasn't even thinking straight. That's how clouded his mind was. He wasn't even right mentally. Why would you put my court date on New Year's as April Fool's? That's like an April Fool's Day. Ain't no school happening on New Year's. Ain't no court happening on. You want me to go? He's so fast to arrest me that he didn't even paper arrest me. He didn't even know what was all going on. Didn't even go back and ask that man, why did she come knocking at the office door like that? The door wasn't even in Reese's Pieces. This was at Greenleaf. I'm hopping around like this because I'm telling you the examples of people not thinking. They not thinking clearly. Yeah, you see me on video. You see rage. Yes. But the door could have already been open. The door could have already been broken. How you know? The only thing I did was just lean up against it. And all I did was just bam on it, let me in. That's a saying she was not accepted on that property. If you go back to that video and play it back, and I'm saying, let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in. That means that I was not accepted on that property. I was having problems at Greenleaf at Broadway when I first got there. And it was not even me, because my neighbor, Sherry, during that time was white. She made all those complaints. She was stalking the situation. She was stalking the situation by making police reports. She was being a Karen. That's what she was being. She was being a Karen. Okay? She was being a nagger. She was being a complaint. And I did nothing but hug this woman. I remember jumping up, giving her a hug, because I didn't know that my breaker switches was going out the way they were going out. But why was my breaker switches off? You see what I'm saying? Why was they off? I never turned my breaker switches off at the Greenleaf, at Broadway in Tucson. I never did nothing like that. But yeah, this is what I was dealing with. I was dealing with a lot of prejudiced people in Tucson. I was dealing with a lot of that. I was dealing with so much that I just didn't want to stay here no more. Out of state, out of mind. Dealing with stalkers. Dealing with invaders. Dealing with human trafficking. Dealing with so much. I was just done with it. That's why I went home and I started packing. And the first thing my mama said, get your stuff packed. Some of that stuff you get rid of. I had to get rid of some of the stuff that's in my house. And then some of the stuff wasn't no good, so I had to throw it away. Like, some things was molded. Some things was molded, so I had to throw it away. My little curtains was molded. And then my mama said that one of my new curtains that I gave you was cut up. What happened to your curtains that was cut up? I said, Mom, that's a long story. I didn't even want to go into all of that because I already know who it was. But she said the new curtains she gave me was cut up. I said, did you see the shower curtains too in the bathroom? Yeah, it was all vandalized. And those were new. But anyway, I'm throwing all that stuff away anyway because you're not supposed to take that energy with you. Throw away most of the old raggedy stuff that you don't need, or you can renew it. Those shower curtains are getting thrown in the garbage. You don't use shower curtains over again. You don't use it over again. But no, my heart was broken. Even with Emily's house, my heart was broken. He's on my stalking list. He's on my stalkers list too, because he came up behind me trying to get a date. A date that I didn't even expect to get. When I first met Emily's, I was just smiling. I was feeling good. I wasn't even dressed to get a boyfriend. I wasn't even dressed for a compliment. I wasn't looking for a boyfriend. When I first met Emily's in 2014, I was not looking for no boyfriend. And that's why that story needs to be told the right way. No, I didn't expect a boyfriend. I had on my pajamas. When I met Emily's, I was in my pajamas when I met him. I was in my pajamas. And I got into my Kia Spectra car. I got into my gray vehicle when I first met they daddy, Emily's. When I first met my daughter, Jada D's daddy, I had basically just got up, went to go pick up my grandmama. I was looking for my grandma in the store. When I first seen Emily's, I was like, where's my grandmama at? And I was like, oh, I'm just looking for her. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't expecting no phone number from him. I wasn't expecting none of that. I wasn't looking for a man. Just like when I met that damn Officer Select, I wasn't looking for no man. I wasn't dressed up in makeup. I wasn't dressed up as a whore looking for a man. I was not doing that. When you're not looking, that's when they come. That's when men come at you when you're not looking. You know? When you're looking for a man, you'll find the wrong one every time. But in this time, I don't understand how Emily's could have been the wrong one because I wasn't looking for him. I don't understand how. But it's just been a lot. That Nasa Pachico lady, I didn't even know her. I didn't even know Nasa Pachico for her to call DCS on me. That hurt me. It was things that hurt me. I got wounded. Okay? You could be mentally wounded, physically wounded, and you could be spiritually wounded. But no, that touched my soul. Because I'm a mother. And she's a mother probably too. But I would never take her daughter from her. Rebecca Pruge and her friend, the Mexican. I never took her daughter from her. I never touched her daughter. I never laid hands on these people's kids. I never touched them. I never touched Rebecca's man. She had an African, a man that sold drugs. Michael turned looking for a drug dealer? Okay, that was the drug dealer downstairs, okay? That was not my house. I had no reason to sell drugs, especially the family that I come from. I have no reason to sell drugs. I have no reason to stay into no prostitution business if I don't want to. I was just being a damn hoe. And getting money the way I knew how to get money when I was young. When I was young, yes. In my 20s. I was in my 20s during that time when I lost my job in 2004. When I lost my job, I had to get those Pampers for my kid. And that was Tajay I had to get those Pampers for in 2004. So if you trying to tell me, DCS, that I don't love my kid, you better think of another thing. Because I did love my kid. Hell, I put my body on land for that little boy. I gave birth to him. What the hell you mean that she didn't love her kid and she neglect her kid? That's why I said all of them got to prove that stuff. Whatever you say on that paper and whatever you say out your mouth, you got to prove it. Okay? You got to prove it. Got to have some type of proof that she neglected her kid, because I don't think I neglected anybody. I was always there. And my brother said the same thing, sis. My brother always said, sis, you were always there for people. My brother would always say to me, my brother Quincy, Quincy was like, you was always there for people. And I was like, yeah, I was. I was always there. When it was a fight, I came running. When it was some money that needed to be, when Nicole ass was going broke sometimes, Nicole Macklin, and then this was about both of us. When Ty J needed diapers, she was there. When Gregory James broke my little heart, and when I broke his, she was there. She was there during those times in Chicago, Illinois. And I was there for her. When I came to Tucson, I was a distant friend. I sent money when I had to, because I was your friend. That's what a friend's supposed to do. And I'm not bragging about it. I'm not boasting about what I got. I was happy with what I had, Rebecca, Prujan. I was happy with what I had. My life was better. Don't hate somebody because their life was better than yours. Okay? I never liked Rebecca because she think that Negroes should, they not the same. Black people ain't the same as Africans, honey. She went telling her mama I invaded her lifestyle. That's what Rebecca went telling her mother. And I was like, I didn't invade shit, because I don't even like white people like that to invade them. I forgot to check. I don't even like white people like that and Mexicans to invade them. I came from a segregated neighborhood. I'm on video. Yes, I came from a segregated neighborhood. And she went lying. Talking about I invaded her. She told her mama I was stalking her and invading her, which was a lie. Why the hell would I mess with a Mexican? What the hell I want with a broke-ass Mexican? What I want with her? What I want with... What do I want with Curl Lopez? What do I want with her? What do I want? She went telling all them lies to her mama. I was not happy with it. I was not happy with it. She told her mom I was in her business. I was not happy with that. So it is what it is. But that's how it is when you're dealing with stalkers, when you're dealing with invaders, when you're dealing with somebody that wants the attention to take your life down or spend too much time on you. But I am hurt. I'm scarred in this city. I'm scarred in Tucson, Arizona. God help me. I will always say God help me with that. And I'm not being sarcastic. God help my spirit, because I don't like revenging on nobody. But I do have to work out that situation to get back my children and go on with my life. Like those people didn't move on. I never took nothing from no Curl Lopez. I don't even know her like that to alter her life. I never knew that. That was my landlord. I never knew her. I don't know my landlords like that. I don't even know Maria Martin. I don't even know her like that. And she works at the Carolina. I don't know that lady like that. I'm not in her life. I don't know that man, Officer Select. I don't know his phone number. I don't know Stephanie Garcia's phone number. All I know is that she was with the man that I wanted to be with. But why would I want to be with a man that's clouded? Yes, I liked him when I first saw him. Like, thank you for helping me, you know? And I kept on walking. Now you could go. Like I said, now you could go. Thank you. Then he tried to make a U-turn. I don't want him like that right now. I don't want him. I don't forgive him. Yeah, when I first saw you, I was like, oh, he's good looking. And he's successful. Thank you for helping me across the street. Now you could go. That was my attitude, you know. Thank you for helping me. Now you could go. That's how I am with him. That's how I am with all these men now. Now you could go. Thank you for helping. Now you could go. Don't expect nothing else. Don't expect nothing back in return. But I was so mad when I seen him with Stephanie Garcia. I was so mad. Stephanie Garcia is my ex-landlord at Catalina Ridge. I was mad when I seen them together. I was pissed. I was pissed. And the reason why I was pissed is because of that portrayal. You know, I was pissed because of the portrayal. That's what it was. You can use a man as a friend. I don't have to have him as no boyfriend. I don't have to, but I was mad how he done that job. When you're dealing with a video, you have to completely investigate something like that. Why is she mad? Why was she raging? Why was she so angry? What was going on? He didn't ask himself that question. He didn't go through all that because he didn't care. He called me a criminal and gave me that paper like I was nobody. And that's what, that right there, I took very personal because I'm not a nobody. I don't like Fabian Figueroa. He now got a lawyer, a skinny lawyer, that helps him copyright things that's not even his at Greenleaf, at Broadway. She copyrighting stuff that's not even his. That Victoria D'Amato, that's his new girlfriend now that I dreamed about. Yeah, they were in bed together. I'm going to go ahead and put it on blast. And he got the attention that he always wanted. The attention he was not getting from me because I was his tenant. Why would I date my landlord when I'm your tenant? That's an invasive stalking situation of you hanging outside my door, sir. You know? Don't give me no clothes. I don't need the clothes that you have to give me. I didn't need none of that stuff because I was going to get rid of it anyway. So you're just doing that for no reason because it got your spirit on it. Those clothes got your spirit on it. I don't like it. I don't take nothing from nobody that has a spirit that doesn't have a good spirit on it. He didn't have a good spirit. He called me a criminal as a landlord. Fabian Figueroa called me a criminal. And then he said, give me your keys. He put me and my kids out on the streets when we had nowhere to go. I don't even want those clothes. I'm giving them away because I didn't like that spirit. Why would I want that spirit in my house? Clothes can carry spirits. Everything you touch has a spirit to it. I believe in that. It has an aura to it. Negative or positive. Then it helps you remember the person. Get rid of it. Because you don't want it coming with you. But I got to go. My name is Serena Hines. Because spirits do stalk. Spirits do stalk because they hide in clothes. They hide behind things. The vibe can stalk. It happens. You know, it's spiritual. And then how you remember things you don't want to remember no more. So get rid of the things you don't want. If somebody wronged you and they gave you something, get rid of it. Don't take no money from them. Don't do none of that. Because you don't want that spirit, their spirits following you. Because that thing that they give you is a part of them. Whether it's money or merchandise or even a hug. Don't even let them hug you. You don't want that spirit on you. Well, anyway, my name is Serena Hines. You have a great day. Spirits do stalk as well as humans, honey. And they stay there unless you pray to God to get them away from you. Thank you very much for listening. Touchy video.